Hickok 45 here. As you can see, I'm ready for combat. You're right, with my Lee-Enfield No. 4 Mark II. Wishing it a happy anniversary. Let's shoot it. As you can tell from the target, it's a anniversary. Boom. With this, because I bought this fine semi-automatic rifle, bolt action rifle, in 1997, right? Some of you were probably not even born. And by my Kentucky math, that is 25 years ago. Okay, so it's a 25th anniversary, and I thought it deserved, I need an excuse to bring it back out. It's probably, in a lot of ways, the best Lee-Enfield I have, and many of you know I have several. And when I say best, that doesn't mean it's the most historical or anything, because this one was made in 1954. So for those of you who are not history challenged, you know that World War II was over, Korea was over, everything was over. But in that sense, we're packing around a lot of bolt action rifles, you know, the U.S. and Britain and whoever else. But this one was made in '54. It was a No. 4 Mark II. No. 4 Mark I was the one that most, I guess, often associated with World War II for a good reason. It was adopted in, you know, what, 39, 40, 41, and was used there during that war. And then this one was adopted in 49, as I read, after, of course, World War II, and used in, you know, it was the last battle rifle, or rifle of the British Empire, as they say, up into the 50s. And because it wasn't, you know, dragged around Europe or somewhere like that, it has a brass butt plate. I'll show you there. See, it's, you know, most of these are in pretty good shape. If you see one, you find one. And they did make some improvements on them. And here I'm waving it around, but it's got an empty brass in the chamber. You get a better limb saver on that. If I like that limb or that length, I need that length. So let's empty this chamber. I think it has a couple more in it. I see a pumpkin over here that needs to be shot. It's cock on close. Bong. Oh, you know what? Let's go over there. Pop a red plate. There, now we're empty. One thing I like about this, doesn't have, I guess, the historical significance as my No. 4 Mark I, but I hate that black paint on those things. I just hate that black paint. Whereas this has more of a traditional finish, you know, and you got the patina, and it's just a nicer firearm in a lot of ways. And I put the bayonet on just to celebrate. I thought I'd just leave it on there, you know, because you never know. As I've said many times, this would make a great deer hunting rifle. You know, I guess I should take it off now, you think? We got the bolt back, we're empty. Let me wrestle with it. Okay, get out here and wrestle and get to it. I haven't had it on or off for a while. There we go. Interesting the way that one connects. So yeah, these are pretty neat. It's nice having a bayonet for it, toad sticker. And I've enjoyed it over the years. I haven't shot it a extreme amount. I think of my Lee-Enfields, the Mark III is maybe my favorite that I have. And but I like this one. You get great sights on it and everything, and really fine front sight. Really focus on. And it's well made. It's solid. Somebody probably, I read that a lot of these were imported in what, the 80s and 90s, and you know, really a new condition basically. And this one was probably one of those. It looks like somebody maybe varnished it, you know, because it got dents in it. It's been used somewhere, carried around training or something. Quite a few dents in it, but it's been varnished over that. I don't know if that was done at the factory. This one was in, it's got an F there for Zachary, you know, where it was made. And I'm seeing 254, and we've got at least one video on it. It's appeared, you know, here and there. So yeah, just neat old guns. They're fun to shoot. They're not my favorite in terms of a bolt gun. I still don't the fact that it's cock on close and you can put it on your shoulder and you can shoot 10 rounds in a minute or whatever, the mad minute, and do all that. I don't know. Maybe you can. I've never really practiced it. The bolt's a little odd feeling to me. It's pretty stiff. The cock on close is. It works fine, but it's not my favorite bolt action. It just isn't. Here I am denigrating it on its anniversary. I'm sorry. Let's load it, shoot a couple more times. But yeah, it's neat to have a firearm this long, not let it get away. You know how we do. And again, you've heard me complain about the clips. I just don't like the Lee-Enfield clips. And I just never use them, basically. Like I did once or twice to show you all that they exist and that they actually work, maybe, if you load them correctly. But if I was in war, it'd be different, right? But I just, I enjoy, try to avoid the rim lock, and just, which I'm about to not do. And the thing is, some of these it doesn't matter, but some it does. Depends on the ammo. There we go. Also want to thank, well, I did thank SilencerCentral.com. You saw them on the target there. Appreciate their help, their support. Bud's Gun Shop, Federal Premium, SDI, everybody. Alistall, Talon Grips. And so if you're brand new, maybe to this sort of firearm, you're new to firearms, period. These guns, these Lee-Enfields, these Enfields were the firearms of the British Empire for so long. Started out, this cartridge did, as a black powder round, I believe, in what, 89 or so. So this 303 has been around forever, even as a black powder cartridge. And then it was used all the way up into the 50s, and I don't know, it's probably still used in some places. So interesting, and that's the interesting thing, or the fascination with some of these types of rifles. They were in use for so many decades. That same cartridge, whether it's a 4570 or the 303 Brett or just anything like that, there's so much history with them, and they still work and do what they were meant to do. It's a pretty stout little round, maybe not quite a 30-06, but it's stout enough. I enjoy it, and I'm going to shoot a couple more. Can I do that? All right, so we got 10 rounds in here. I'm gonna bowl. Hey, how about a little bowling? Yeah. See, so you can keep it on your shoulder, and you can work and practice, working that bolt. And you can get to where you can put a lot of rounds on target. If I have any left. But I don't know. I like to take my time. Look at those big bullets in there. Those big torpedoes. Aren't they pretty? Let's shoot. I'll just put one on the gong. Another on that little plate over there. Oh, sweet. I'll shoot a couple more and let you go. I just didn't want to celebrate it, and you all not be here. Yeah, it just wouldn't seem right, really. The wood's not bad looking. It's something about that thick coating of varnish, I guess, takes away from it. That's okay. It's a military rifle. It's meant to be functional primarily, right? Good old 303 Brit. Always fun shooting a historical round. About 6 or 7 in there. A couple more out. I remember buying this. It was at a gun show in Nashville in 1997. I paid $90 for it. And I got that, my records. And it's gone years and years, off and on, being ignored, and I'll get it out. One thing that's caused it to be ignored, I guess, a little bit more in recent decades was I did pick up a Mark III or two. Gave one to John. I got another one, and I've got the number 4 Mark I, and I tend to shoot all those more. I've got the Canadian long branch, not all that long ago, as you know about. I also have the jungle carbine, as they called it, right? And so I just don't get it out as often. It's been neglected. I'm sorry. I apologize. I apologize, Mr. Mark II. Okay, because you are a fine rifle. You really are. And I'm going to shoot something with you. Oh, yeah, nice. Feels good. So I see how you could get into a rhythm. One thing I noticed with this, I noticed I was taking a couple of shots yesterday with it actually, because I knew we were going to do the video. I wanted to make sure it still worked. And I popped my knuckle on that bolt handle. I do that on it's one reason I'm really bad about getting out the, you know, the American Enfield, the 1917. Because the bolt on it, not only does it hit me, it's actually angled back towards your knuckle, as you might recall. And I really have a hard time keeping my knuckle away on that one. And I've noticed on this one I do too. But just have to work around it. But I can see if you practice that, and I have not, obviously, that you could yeah, be a force to be reckoned with, at least for those first 10 shots, right? So anyway, again, this one was made in 1954. It wasn't carried in battle that I know of, you know, World War II or anything like that. But still, it's kind of like having a Garand, M1 Garand that was made in like in the 50s or something, right? After Korea, where you know it wasn't. Oop, I'm sorry, I was pointing at the helicopter. I apologize. It yeah, it's what it'd be like no, an M1 Garand made in what 1954 or something like that. You know, still the same quality, historical piece and everything, but just not dragged around in the Pacific or in Europe. So anyway, nice rifle, and I love the finish on it, love the way it shoots, and it's just a fine old rifle. I'll probably keep it since I've kept it for 25 years. What do you think? Life is good.
Oh yeah, that's better. This is a great gun for defense. Oh hey, didn't see you guys there. While I've got you here, I want to remind you of our friends over at Talon Grips and Ballistol. Talon Grips makes grips, can you believe it, for all different types of firearms. You can get rough texture or more of a rubberized texture. It just sticks right on there. You know, really affordable, really cool option to improve the grip for your handguns or rifles. So please check them out at talongungrips.com. You'll be glad you did. And also Ballistol. Dad has been using Ballistol for many years. It's a cleaner and a lubricant, and it's non-toxic. It works really great, and we're happy to have them on board since it's been a part of our shooting endeavor for a very long time. So go to ballistol.com, talongungrips.com, and also while you're out there, I'm juggling all these things here. Also, while you're on the internet, please do check out our other social media like Hickok45 on Facebook. There's also Hickok45 on Twitter, The Real Hickok45 on Instagram. There's a John_Hickok45 on Instagram where I do some things. There's Hickok45.com. You can find us also on Gunstreamer. So check out all that stuff and then watch more videos.